Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Hope y'all are having a good Wednesday so far. This is the only time that I have to do this actor's tip video, so you are getting it while I'm straightening my hair. So enjoy that. Get a little, I don't know, hair tutorial while we're doing this. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about auditions. Last night, I was talking to one of our upcoming interviewees. Me and Stephanie were talking to him, and a couple things came up, and I thought it would be good to talk about today. So, first off, auditions. Everybody has them, right? How do you approach them? How do you act? How everything? Well, I am going to tell you a story about the audition that I had in Dallas. It was my first audition that I've had at this casting office in Dallas, and it's the first, one of the first auditions that I had with my agency that I currently have now, who is a pretty big agency in Texas. And, usually when I go on auditions, there's maybe like three people, four people, no big deal. And I never really, I guess I did feel a little nervous a lot of the times, but not like this. When I walked in, I saw about 30 people that were wearing pretty much what I was wearing, pretty much looked like me, pretty much same everything. And I, in the beginning, got a little discouraged. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to do very well. And then I told myself, you know what? You're here. You just need to do the best that you can do. And like I told you on the video before, I said, they're either going to like you or they're not going to like you. So just do what you do, make some magic, and figure it out. So I did. I got in my head for like 5 seconds, and then that was it. I went into the audition, did the best that I could. Um, I didn't know if it was great or not, but then I got a call back, which is great. So it means I did something right out of all of those people that were there at that moment. Who knows how many people were there all day? That was only between like 10:30 and 10:40. Um, but I got a call back. And then when I went on the callback, I actually got held, which is great. I explained it earlier, what being held means. But basically, they were saying that I pretty much booked it. They just needed to find out little extra stuff, logistics, and all of that. And they ended up dropping my hold, which doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So, you know what? I took it as a great thing. The fact that I even got called back on such a big audition like that, the fact that I even got held was huge. So it means that I'm doing something right, and you can't be upset about it. You have to be happy that you did well and that you even had the opportunity to get in front of people. Which brings me to my other point, more networking. Networking is very important in this business. Very important. You need to be the best that you can be, and this is what we were talking to Jason about yesterday. Networking is huge. He had a story that he was telling us off camera. I was like, come on. But off camera, about an audition that he had that went really, really great. Everything was fantastic. And they told him that he booked the role. He was so excited about it. It was a big role. And a big role for a big show with big other actors. And it was kind of a big deal. And he got booked. And he was so excited. 2 weeks went by. He didn't hear anything. And he thought, that's a little odd. So he called the agent. And when he called the agent, she contacted the casting director. Well, they had made a mistake. The casting director thought that she was talking to or talking about another talent. And she liked Jason a lot. She wanted him, but the director decided on somebody else. And so she accidentally told the wrong person that they booked it. So she felt terrible already. And because of that mistake, he technically could have gotten paid for that anyway, because that was a big time mistake. And he said, you know what? no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go after them for payment. Could he have? Yes, absolutely. Legally, he could have, and he could have gotten paid pretty well for it. But it's the bigger picture. If he were to do that, then that casting director would remember him as the guy who didn't get paid and still wanted to be paid anyway. And then you're known as that person. Everything is about networking. You don't want to be that person. When you're on set, you don't want to be on your phone. You want to be the most prepared. You want to take direction well. You want to just be professional. And that's something that you have to remember. Never be afraid to talk to people in this industry because you just never know who you're going to meet. Some of these interviews that I have in the future are people that I've met even through Instagram. Why? Because I've been networking. And it's great because these people are actual influential people that I wouldn't have met if I wouldn't have just, I don't know, talked back to them and commented and had them comment on me and just keep in touch. It's pretty neat how this thing works, but you always want to network. One last thing, too, that we were talking about with auditions is that you're not auditioning for a role, you're auditioning for the casting director. And it's true. When a casting director tells you that they like you, they're not just telling you something to be nice because they don't have to tell you that. They don't owe you anything. They can just say, okay, thank you, bye, and that's fine. But it's definitely true. Even one time I had went for an audition and I thought I did great on the role on the audition, but I ended up not getting the role. And in the email, it had said, sorry, we went with somebody else, but we really loved your work and we would love to work with you in the future. Do you mind if we hold your information? Because we really do want to find something for you in the future. So I was a newer actor at the time, and to me, that basically meant you didn't do good enough, you didn't get the role, and we're just being nice and telling you that we're going to keep your stuff, your information. When in reality, a whole year later, that's how I auditioned for Indecency. The casting director that had liked my work contacted me and said, hey, I have another role if you're interested in auditioning. And guess what? I booked it. And that just proves that they really do remember you. And so don't be that guy that, excuse my French, but that's an ass. You want to be somebody that can take direction well, that networks well, that shakes that person's hand, that makes them feel comfortable, because they will remember you. There's a lot of people that suck out there. And I don't mean just suck at acting, but I mean suck as people. They come in to casting offices and they act like their stuff doesn't stink. And people remember that too. So don't be that guy. I hope that helps. And any other tips that you guys want, I'll be doing it every week. Just give me a shout out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. You guys have a fantastic Wednesday. Mwah! Adios.